Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to my garage. Well, actually, it's probably closer to evening, but hey, what the heck. All right, so this is the video I promised to drop on 24, 48, and 12 volt. And why I promote 12 volt over the 48 volt or the 24 volt. My comment sections have guys that say you should be telling people to go 48. Hey, 24 is the way to go. Everybody's got an opinion on what you should do with your money, and I'm here giving you mine. Obviously, you know, I've just learned from experience, and I think I promote the 24 volt. I'm sorry, the 12 volt system because it's easy to jump bigger if you need to jump bigger. Uh, you know, I, the current system I'm promoting is 600 watts, which has got three 200-watt 12 volt panels, uh, 600 amp hours, which is three 200 amp hour batteries like these three down here, and then a 2,000-watt Giandel inverter. And that's a 12 volt inverter. Now I'm promoting the 600 watt, 612 volt because that for most people who are just going to getting into solar and just want to get started, that's probably the end goal of their system, right? They got a shed in the backyard that they want to put lights on, and maybe they want to power some stuff inside it, charge up their tools. I don't know. Charge up their electric lawnmower, charge up their yard stuff. You know, they start with something small, and they build their way up bigger and bigger and bigger. They do what I did. Um, I'm just trying to help them so they're not wasting money. So if you shoot for a 600 amp hour, 600 watt system, you could start with a single battery. You still get this big Giandel inverter, so you're not wasting that money as you go up the chain. And you still get the same 30 amp charge controller, right? But you can do it with just one battery, one panel, this Giandel, and this 30 amp charge controller. Um, you can do that single system and start out cheap, and as you want to you need more capacity or you want more power, you can always add the other battery and the other battery. And, you know, um, as a good starting point here on the 40, I have 680 watts. In the spring, the summer, and in the fall, I have more power than I know what to do with. I can pretty much power everything in my house with the exception of the two air conditioners that are required to, heat and cool my house. One's a 2 ton and the other's a 2.5 ton. Uh, those are too big to run off grid, and if I was going to run them off grid, I would require a 48 volt system. And then all those guys that are out there screaming about you should be doing 48 volt, they would be correct. But I'm not looking to power my big air conditioners. I'm only looking to power the stuff that I gotta have in case of emergency, and that's it. And maybe save me a little bit of money as I'm going along the way. And I think a 600 amp hour battery like this one here and 600 watts will provide most people, and by that I mean 80 to 85%, most people's needs other than their very large appliances. It's not going to run your washing machine, right? It's not going to run your air conditioners. But for all the little stuff, your TV, your Wi-Fi, your security system, your clock radio, all those little things that have tiny electrical cords, plug those all into one inverter and then plug that, or one surge strip, and then plug that into an inverter. Uh, and all that can go off grid. That's basically what this system is. It has a constant 3.5 amp draw, and that's a lot of the things that I don't want to go off. And you can build your way up to this system here. For a long time I ran with just two batteries, this inverter and 200 and what 390 watts. For a long time, that's what I ran with, and that, you know what, that works. That works pretty good too. I was satisfied with it. I didn't need the extra power, but dang it, they lowered the price of the batteries, and I get sucked into things, and this is one of those things that I got sucked into. I'm addicted to trying to figure out how to save myself the maximum amount of money while I spend more than I save. I'm nuts, and maybe you're nuts too, and that's why you want to go this way with my system here, because when it's time to make the jump to 24 volts, you can buy your batteries 1, 2, 3. So when it's time for me to make the jump to 24 volt, I just have to buy one more battery. I can wire the four together, as a 24-volt battery, and then the only thing I have to buy is a 24-volt Guiandel inverter. I can replace the Samlex with a 24-volt Guiandel. This EP-Ever will do 24 volts, 12 and 24 volts, so I don't have to change it. If you're buying new, I suggest you get one of the EP-Evers that'll do 0 to 150 volts. It's based on amps, not volts. Just like the Victrons, they do the same thing. EP-Ever's finally kind of caught up with Victron a little bit in that respect, and those are the ones I recommend now. Now, I don't have one yet, and you know what? I wouldn't turn one down if EP-Ever wanted to send me one. I'd happily put it in my system and use it, but short of that, we're going to keep going with what we got because I'm trying not to waste any more money. I don't want to have to throw out any more equipment in search of more solar power. So the only way I can do that is to go up to 24 volts, and that's what I'm going to do. Take me one battery over here, wire those together for 24 volts, and then I'm going to get 3 more 100-watt solar panels, and I'm going to wire 6 100-watt solar panels together in 24 volts to make 300 watts, 24 volts for this system over here. And that's what we're going to run after the spring equinox. I'm going to get you through the winter and keep track of all the numbers on this stuff here through the winter so people can get a good gauge. If you're trying to plan the size of the system, obviously I'm giving you the information to do it. So, use the numbers and use your calculator and come up with what you need. But that is why I'm recommending the 12-volt system, because you can start small. You can start with a single battery, a single inverter, the single charge controller, and a couple panels up on your roof. $1,500, maybe less. And you can build your way up with 12 volt. And the only piece that you're going to waste is this one, the inverters. The inverter. This is the only one you're going to waste. I don't know. By the time you get to where I am, you know what you're going to go and what direction you're going to go and how much your power needs are going to go. And you're going to be able to decide long before you get to this point whether or not you should have went 48 volts. But if that's the case and you do want to go 48 volts and you bought the right one of these, it's just this piece that needs to change. That's it. You got a 48 volt, 200 amp hour battery sitting right there. And that's a pretty good sized battery. Most guys who run 48 volt systems buy server rack batteries, and they're 48 volts and 100 amp hours. That's 2 of them right there. Now, most server rack batteries that I've seen are somewhere in the $1,200 to $1,300 range. And 2 of them would be obviously $2,700. You put 4 of these together for $1,700 to get the same 48 volt, 200 amp hour battery. Now, don't tell me that 48 volt is the same price as 24 volt or 12 volt batteries, because it's not. Hell, the 24 volt 100 amp hour battery, which is equivalent to one of these, is still another $75 more than this one. This is the cheapest way to go for batteries. No other way is more cost effective. Not that I've seen yet. Well, that's it. I hope that answers everybody's questions. Hey, have a good day and a better tomorrow, guys. See ya.